Master web development with SkillBakery. Hey everyone! Ready to level up your web dev skills? Introducing SkillBakery.com premium courses starting at just $6 or 500 rupees. Sign up today and learn in-demand skill sets. Unlock your potential today at SkillBakery.com.
Hello and welcome to this new video. In this one, we'll be learning how we can find items from the end of the JavaScript array using methods like findLast, and findLastIndex. So finding elements starting from the end of an array has gotten a lot easier with the introduction of the findLast and findLastIndex method. With you no longer need to remember to access the end of the array. So here, as you can see, we have created one array, and if I have to access the elements, I need to either be aware of the index positions. For example, over here, I can go ahead and write array of 1, and here you can see at index position 1, we have the element 2. So either you should be aware of the index position, and then you will be able to access those elements. Now, with the method, this becomes a more convenient, and you can just go ahead and write it like array. So here, when the index position is a positive value, then you don't find any difference as such. It's just the syntax is a bit different. So here you're saying array of 1, and here you are calling the method and then passing the index. But what makes this interesting is you can also pass the index position in negative. So when you do that, you will be able to access the elements from the end of the array. For example, instead of 1, if I write -1, so here you can see it's accessing the last element. And similarly, if you want to access, so let's have it over here in the console itself. So here we have the previous two examples. Now, if you want to find an element, you also have the find method. Now, the find method works by finding the first matching result set. So over here, if I go ahead and write this array.find, and here I'm trying to find element which is either greater than or equal to 4. So here, if I save this, I get the result over here as 4, because it's starting from the left hand side, and as soon as it finds that, okay, 4 is equal to 4, it prints that result over here. Now, if I have to explore how many checks it has done in order to come to this conclusion, I can just go ahead and write this find method in a more verbose mode, and here you can see the check has gone through 4 elements. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So it has performed 4 checks, and then it has printed this result 4. Now, we know that 4 is at the end of the array. So in order to minimize these many number of checks, what we can do is we can explore the method called findLast. So here, if I go ahead now and write findLast, save this. So here you can see that now the number of checks that were performed is just 1, and here it's getting the last item from the array because that item is greater than 4. So as soon as it finds that, it prints the result, and here you can see that the number of iterations gone down to 1. Similarly, I can go ahead and also make use of another method called findLastIndex. So it's going to print the index position of the element that we're looking for. Over here, you can see that when I'm making use of the findLastIndex, it's printing the index position, which is 4. So index starts from 0. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the last element is at index position 4, and findLastIndex does the job. So using these methods, searching elements becomes very handy, and they are basically counterparts of find and findIndex. And as I mentioned, this is useful if you know what you're accessing is going to be closer to the end.